This video is narrative in one sitting. You're going to watch a reader read a novel in one sitting. You can do it too, now that you know how to do rocket-powered reading. The procedures are adapted for reading a novel. The reader wants to become as familiar as she can before reading this book, its structure and its content. So she previews the text to see how it's put together. Let's watch her preview a novel, which is very different from previewing an informational text. She looks at the front cover and the blurb on the back. She reads some of the hook on the first page and the two reviews. She flips through the front matter and discovers several more things about this book, such as a list of books the author has written, the copyright date, a summary statement on the copyright page, acknowledgments. From the table of contents, she sees that the story has 19 chapters. She reads the titles and predicts what will happen. She flips through the book. It has 178 pages. She checks to see if there is any end matter. She sees three things. 1, words in italics and wonders what that is. Maybe an epilogue. She sees the words to a song and wonders why it is there. She will be alert when reading for mention of a song called All Is Well. She sees a page about the author. She reads that because she has really enjoyed reading other novels by Catherine Patterson. She flips through and estimates that most chapters will be about 6 to 10 pages long. She is now ready to set up the book for a fast reading of it. The reader does 4 things to set up the book for this very fast reading. 1, she places a sticky tab at the end of chapter 1. And at the beginning of the last chapter. She prepares herself. She sits in a straight-back chair at a table. She props up the text to a 45-degree angle, and she psychs herself up to read fast. She reads the first chapter carefully, no speed reading. She needs a good foundation for understanding for reading the rest of the story. She downloads on the plot outline what she has learned about the following: the opening situation, the setting, the major and minor characters, the problem to be solved, any events or anything else that seems important. She divides the remaining pages between the first and last chapters into 3 equal parts. Eyeballing it is fine, or figuring out exactly the 3 equal parts. She puts a sticky tab to indicate the places. She now decides the amount of time she wants to finish reading the text in one sitting and divides the time into 4 segments. For example, if she wants to read the remaining text in 1 hour, she divides that time into 4 parts of 15 minutes each. The last 15 minutes is for reading the last chapter carefully, or climax if it happens earlier, and for downloading onto the plot outline. She sets the timer. Watch how she reads the next chapter. She reads every line on the first page and understands it. Then she does rocket-powered reading using the Z hand motion. She reads a line and pulls her finger back across the page in a diagonal for about a 4 to 6 inch swath of text, all the time grabbing information and making inferences about the meaning. When she arrives at the last page of this chapter, she reads it more carefully. She continues this process for each succeeding chapter. First page carefully, last page carefully, and the Z reading in between. If the time goes off before she reaches the sticky tab, she either skips right to the sticky tab, or she flips through the remaining pages very fast in under a minute to that point. She begins the process again there and tries again to reach the next tab before the next segment of time is up. When she comes to the climax of the story, usually in the last chapter, but sometimes in the second to the last chapter, she reads this more carefully. In other words, she does with the whole book what she does with each chapter. Reads the first part carefully, reads very fast in between, and reads the last part carefully. She then completes the plot outline by downloading the main events of the entire book. She could have used the readmate for this drill. She can do this in one of two ways. One, she decides the time she has to read the rest of the text and decides how fast she must read each page to achieve that goal. Given that a line read rate of 60 is about 1 second per round sound, she adjusts the rate and sets the page read rate instead of the line read rate at that pace, such as 3 seconds per page. Or, for a second way to use the readmate, she explores for a fast but doable pace, sets the page read rate on the readmate, does not set a time limit, and sticks with the reading until she finishes the entire text in one sitting. Now you try reading an entire novel in one sitting. You can do it.